So here we're going to discuss TorchVision utility functions and models. So what we did in the last laboratory is it's focused on visualizing model outputs like boxes and masks using pre-trained models, understanding what a model knows like classes, and inspecting models when metadata is missing. So the core idea here, you are not training from scratch, but we are using powerful pre-trained models efficiently. So first, uh, we import the torque vision that models, torque vision that transforms, torque vision that utils. So what it does is torque is core deep learning library. Torque vision models is um, pre-trained models like ResNet, DeepLab, etc. TorchVision transforms is image processing, pre-processing. TorchVision utils visualization tools. So, what's visualization? So, why visualization matters? Models output numbers like tensors. That this is humans need images. So we convert the tensor into visual results. We draw the bounding boxes and we labels it into uh, classification like dog, the eye, we get its tensors. So we have the rectangles around the objects. We define like x min, y min, x max, and y max. So we use the VUtils that draw bounding boxes to draw. So what happens here? So torque vision draws rectangle on image. Add labels like dog or eye. This used in object detection and debugging predictions. So the key insight there is bounding boxes. Where is the object? Next is segmentation masks. Now we go deeper. Instead of boxes, we classify each pixel. So object mask is loaded object mask, and we unsqueeze it. Why we unsqueeze? We add a dimension. From height and W, we add 1 HW. So um, we have the zero dimension, which is 1, the batch. Because the function expects the mask H and W, height and width. Next is we draw masks. Using the VUtils, draw a segmentation mask, image mask, object alpha is equivalent to 0.5. We overlay mask on image. We set the alpha 0.5 for its transparency. So key insights here is segmentation answers what exact shape is the object. Bounding box versus segmentation. So the feature, so the precision in bounding box is low, but in segmentation is high. The output in bounding box is rectangle. The output in segmentation is pixel level. Um, in segment in bounding box, the use case is for detection, while in the segmentation the use case is medical, autonomous driving. Next is pre-trained models. Why we use them? Training from scratch could be expensive, slow, require huge data. But in pre-trained models, we already trained on ImageNet or Coco. We understand the edges, it's understand already, or learn some of the edges, shapes, and objects that it learned from. Especially in the image that consists of a lot of billions of images are there. The Coco is good for its detection and segmentation. Example, TV model segmentation, the Deep Lab 3 Reset 50. This is segmentation model. Knowing what your model knows. Before using a model, we must ask two critical questions like how many classes, what are the class names. So helper function, get the model classes from weights meta, what it does, it reads. So in helper function, get the model classes from weights meta. What it does, it reads weights.meta. Inside this metadata, um, it says a class names, number of classes. Example, here is model weights. We set it to TV that models segmentation that the deep love tree ResNet 50 weights the default. So that default means best official train weights. Then we get the model classes from weights meta. We get the class names and num classes. So the output is num classes equivalent 21. Includes classes like dog, person, car. So the key insight here is the model can only predict what it was trained on. If dog is not in class list, model cannot detect dog. Part 5. So when metadata doesn't exist, um, TV models, when we rested 50 model is equivalent to TV model, the rested 50, and you said the pre-trained is equivalent to true. The problem is no that meta, no class names available. So what we do, inspect architecture manually. We look at the last layer, example idea, ResNet 50 model, the fully connected layer. This layer might show output features like 1,000, meaning 1,000 classes in MixNet. So the insight, the final layer decides number of classes. Very important concepts we learned is visualization is critical. Boxes means location, mask shape. Pre-trained models are reusable intelligence. We don't need to train from zero. We reuse learned features. Weights object is very powerful. So the modern is weights, your model weights, the default contains preprocessing steps, metadata, categories. Metadata versus no metadata. So the method we have is weights by default. It has metadata, yes. If which pre-trained is equivalent to true, it does not have it has not doesn't it has not have metadata. So shape manipulation matters. If n squeeze we add dimensions required for batching. So it's a final intuition. We take out the workflow like from image, we load image, we run the model, we get predictions like number, sensor output, and visualization. We convert to human readable like draw boxes mask.